Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Crypto Space, everybody. Guys, so in today's video we are going to cover Kaspa, its recent price action, and of course on the top of that we are going to cover a couple of interesting charts for BTC and altcoins as well. So if that sounds interesting, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. So before we are going to check the chart, let's actually have a look at the dashboard itself. So guys, we are experiencing a little pullback of 4.8% on the daily for Kaspa, and currently we are sitting at 17 cents. And now the question is right away, am I worried about that? Not really, guys, because most of the market on a daily is pulling back. That's of course due to the fact of what Bitcoin did. Now looking at the market cap, we are sitting at 4.1 billion USD. Current reward is 104. Next reward is going to be 98. Next reduction is scheduled in 2 days, and we are sitting at 365 petahash per second. All-time highs is sitting at 387 petahash per second, guys. So again, look at the hash rate, baby. And now again, looking at the market, guys, this is another pullback. I'm not really shaken out at all. I'm not worried at all, and we are going to see what we can expect in, let's say, coming days and weeks. Looking at firstly Kaspa's chart, right? So that is a 4-hourly time frame for Kaspa, and let me actually switch that ribbon. And first of all, guys, we are basically got rejected from previous all-time highs for Kaspa, which based on the technicals I believe is normal. This is something that Bitcoin basically is doing. We have closed above, slightly above for BTC, above these previous all-time highs, and we are consolidating below, right? So pretty much similar with Kaspa, right? We have closed slightly above previous all-time highs, and now we are consolidating. We actually get rejected from that level of 19 cents for Kaspa. Now the first thing that I'm seeing on that 4-hourly chart is head and shoulders, which is not necessarily great, right? So let's measure the target. Of course it's not necessarily said that this is something that's going to happen and Kaspa is going to see that dump, right? But let's measure the target for the purposes of dealing with that pattern. So that would put Kaspa at 15 cents. Okay, I know how it sounds, but you guys can see it yourself, right? And that will also coincide with that next major level of support, which is around 15 cents. Well, let's have a look at different time frames, guys. Because for stochastic RSI on 4-hourly time frame is showing us different picture, and that is proper bottoming out. So now let's have a look at the daily time frame to see what's going on. Let me actually get rid of this thing. So now looking at stochastic RSI, we are going towards the downside for Kaspa. And now, guys, that make more sense that we are going to see that pullback towards that level of support. And as much as I don't want to say those things, right, this is basically what's brewing. So Kaspa could technically experience a dump of, let's say, 10%, but things can change in an instant. It all depends on what Bitcoin is going to do and how the market is going to react to that, and of course how Kaspa is going to react to that too. So looking at overall trend for Kaspa, that is still okay. Well, depends on your game, because you are not going to make money within few days in crypto, I believe. And that is still trajectory of higher highs for Kaspa. So that's still bullish sign on a daily time frame. Of course, not mentioning about the weekly and the story with the rainbow. So let me actually throw the rainbow on it. And now, guys, first of all, let's have a look at that RSI, stochastic RSI, right? So what we are experiencing at the moment is that a bearish cross on a weekly. So as much as I don't want to say it, we could technically, based on the technicals, we could retest this lower level for Kaspa, right? And now, guys, I am not going to sell Kaspa because obviously I do have belief in 2025, right? And the cycle that is going to happen in 25, because obviously nothing is going to stagnate forever. Neither do Kaspa, and then I am going to sell, right? It all depends on your game, right? Everybody has a different game. You can do DCA in, DCA out. You can obviously trade with leverage, which I'm not doing, little disclaimer, or just hold it till 2025, right? It all depends on what you want to do and what do you want to achieve this cycle. Now, guys, let's have a look at the ETF inflows. So as of yesterday, we are experiencing a little bit of negativity, which is 13.7 million USD of outflows for these ETFs for BTC. But guys, this is not that much, to being honest. After so many positive days, that's okay. Now let's cover a couple of charts. All right, so first of all, shout out to the Scalping Pro, and he's saying that it is time to run it back. All right, so he had two possible scenarios. If you are watching the updates consistently, you probably remember the chart, right? So we have, you know, dipped to that level, and now the Scalping Pro, you know, is basically estimating that we might potentially bounce towards outside of that range even, which is going to be obviously great for Kaspa. Now, shout out to El Crypto Prof, and he's saying, just imagine a Bitcoin playing out the same scenario as in 2023. This is a 3-daily chart, guys, and let's have a look what this guy is talking about, right? So we do have that rising trend for BTC's price that also obviously served as a support, and every single time we had, you know, a sell-off, right, then we had a pump towards the upside, and we got also perfectly supported by this rising trend line. Nevertheless, once we have fell below that significantly into that zone, aka range, however you want to call it, we have entered second 2024 run, right? And we got 1, 2, 3 formation, and then we have dipped into that, you know, a box of redness. So nobody really knows how long is that going to last for. Nevertheless, guys, if you are going to look at the chart that is, you know, more zoomed out, I believe that, you know, the best is yet to come. This is just temporary, and I do believe that this is the best time to buy crypto. Now, crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin on a weekly chart. Prof is saying that he knows that the market is really boring at the moment. Timing is not easy. But if you ask me, well, him, we will see a huge breakout from the reaccumulation range for altcoins within the next 5 weeks. Wow, that is a really bull claim, but let's have a look. Take a look at 2016 and 2020, same scenario, just a question of time. Well, so let's have a look, right? We got obviously that accumulation slash bear market, whatever, the first leg up, then retest, and then we had that short squeeze towards the upside. Now, the previous cycle in 2020, there was the same scenario, right? We have exited that, you know, accumulation phase in which we have basically closed above. We had that pump out and then retest as a support, and then short squeeze, we broke that downtrend, and then boom, parabola. So now 2024, same scenario according to Prof, and this is what I'm seeing as well actually, right? So we do have that accumulation zone, the first leg up, and then the pullback, obviously the retest, and now hopefully we are going to see that squeeze sooner rather than later. And now another chart for alts, and this is a crypto total market cap that is excluding top 10 dominance on a weekly chart. Prof is asking, did you know that altcoins have recently bounced on a trend line that has been immensely important for almost 4 years? Every touch of this trend line gave us an altcoin season in retrospect. 2020, 2021, and 2023. Is it different this time? Well, guys, let's have a look, all right? So let's have a look at that rising trend line first of all, right? Once we have, you know, that sell-off, then obviously after that we had, you know, alt season in 2020. Then the sell-off, and then we have experienced a proper pump for dominance of these alts. Then obviously there was alt season in 2021, and now we've got alt season in 2023, right? And hopefully this alt season is going to print a lot of gains. We are going to see, but you know, we are basically touching that trend line now. So I believe that, you know, the best things are yet to come, guys. And now shout out to the Scalping Pro. He's saying that Bitcoin is about to pump hard. MACD is about to cross bullish for the 7th time since the 15,500. Each time MACD has turned bullish, we have witnessed a significant jump in Bitcoin's price. Guys, let's have a look. So every single time we had that bullish cross on MACD, then we saw a pump. Right, maybe not right away, nevertheless, you know, that happened. Then we had another bottom, right, that also coincided with cross, so on and so forth. But now, guys, we are exactly at the same time. You know, we have experienced, you know, a possible bottom, and now, guys, MACD is about to cross bullish. All right, so I do believe that this is a great thing to see and great thing to hear, but of course patience is required. And by the way, guys, if you're interested into keeping your Kaspa safe, or BTC, or whatever you want, guys, make sure that you check out Tangent Wallet. So Tangent Wallet is definitely a much safer solution for you to store your crypto rather than on exchanges on which, you know, anything might happen. Make sure that you check it out, and with my discount code you can get minus 10% off. The link is in the description down below. And now let's come back to the chart, guys. Another chart according to the Scalping Pro. He's saying what if, right? So firstly, we have reached 20k for BTC in 2018. Then we had 69 obviously in the previous run, and now technically, you know, we could see around 220,000 for BTC, right? This is definitely not out of the question, but I would like to tell everybody that, you know, nobody should really wait for that magical 2020 because things are looking very cute and very great on, you know, technical analysis. Nevertheless, guys, you should make your exit plan strategy and basically, you know, sell no matter what, right? And keep up with that strategy and sell your profits along the way. I do hope that that makes sense. Now, shout out to Titan of Crypto. He's saying that CME futures gap got filled as expected. Nothing holds. BTC back now. Time to send. Guys, that sounds very confident by Titan of Crypto, and heck, let's see what is going to happen. That is a 4-hourly time frame, guys. So, you know, everything so far, to me at least, looks like, you know, we are experiencing bullishness in coming, you know, weeks, days, who really knows. And I know that probably it sounds crazy because, you know, this is how it looks like, right? Nevertheless, usually when the whole market is basically capitulating and people are selling, right, fear, and then, you know, the price is going towards the upside, right? So obviously this is the shakeout of paper hands, right? Now coming back to this chart, all right, this is a weekly chart for BTC according to Mr. Titan. He's saying that Bitcoin has got $123,000 target. A bullish cap and handle continuation pattern is currently forming on the weekly time frame for BTC. And guess what? The minimum price target is more than reasonable. So obviously, guys, cap and handle is a bullish pattern, but of course these type of patterns, you know, are not going to play within few days. I do hope that this is kind of, you know, easy to understand because each candle here is representing 1 week, which means that, you know, there's a couple of weeks, you know, in that handle, not mentioning about that cap, right, that still could go upwards or downwards, right? Nevertheless, the target is above 100k for BTC. And now, guys, one of the biggest OGs in crypto space, right? So that is Plan B, right? Big shout out to the dude, and make sure that you check out his Twitter account and go into his YouTube, right? But basically this is a Bitcoin stock to flow model, and guys, every single time we are experiencing that parabola for BTC, right, not mentioning about altcoins, of course, you know, we are turning purpley red, you know, going into the, you know, orange red, let's say, right? And as you guys can see, we got what, I see 1 or 2 red bubbles in here, guys. So, you know, we do have some time, right? Bitcoin is going to see, you know, I believe quite big prices this cycle, and let's see how things are going to go. And now shout out to the moon. He's saying that we should remember that history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So guys, we've got the bear market in red, then we've got the flip, right, which is basically breaking that trend, obviously in the middle in here. Nevertheless, you know, we still do have to break this trend that, you know, leads us back to the previous all-time highs where, you know, the bear market actually started. And then we saw the proper bull cycle. Then obviously that repeated, you know, blah, blah, blah. And this is where we are at the moment, right? We had the bear market, we had the flip, we broke the trend line, right? And obviously we had a little bit of retest, stuff like that, right? And now we do have a lot of potential this cycle, you know, in this green rectangle. I hope that makes sense. Now, Bitcoin market cycle according to Plan B. So if we are going to look at that even, guys, look at these red bubbles again, right? We are nowhere near, I believe, because there's much more bubbles yet to print. So we are in the bull market, right? Even if it doesn't feel like that, we do have sell-offs, etc. Shout out to Mickey Bull Crypto, and this is Bitcoin's weekly chart. He's saying that massive parabolic rally is incoming. So first of all, this green and red snake, that is a Gaussian channel. You know, this is, in my opinion, one of the best macro indicators to actually see, you know, where we are in terms of bear or bull market. And as you guys can see, we have flipped, you know, green for BTC a while ago. And, you know, if you are going to compare the length of that, you know, green part of Gaussian channel to the previous cycles, right? I believe we are what, in 1/3 of this cycle. And now let's have a look, guys. This wedge basically sooner or later is going to experience a squeeze, while the price of BTC is going to experience a squeeze out of it. And also, guys, let's have a look at the RSI. So he's basically showing that every single time we had this formation in here on RSI and we have bottom to that, you know, red level, we saw a bounce towards the upside for BTC's price. So guys, let's have a look how things are going to go, you know, in next couple of weeks, because obviously that is a weekly chart. Ladies and gents, that's it what I've got for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed, and I wish you having a great day. Peace and love, crypto.